utilizing the land remains critical.
Yes, General.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Thanks very much.
Still on the same.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. The General said at the beginning they don't want to deprive people of their property, that they are government. We have had meetings as MPs in Kampala and Wakiso about people who live along the railway line. Even with ministers, the other day we were meeting Honorable Echweru. Before compensation, the minister brought bulldozers and started destroying lives almost. So I don't know whether that was a different government. So the clarification, Madam Speaker, I'm seeking is whether the standard is changed when it came to those who live along the rail line, that these days you are, whose houses you are demolishing, you have finished my constituency, you are now in Nakawa, as if they are not human beings.
So in that case, who was encroached? Is it the railways or the people? I just want to find out who was encroached.
Madam Speaker, the Land Act, which this government has been waving in our faces for many years, creates a category of bona fide occupant. In fact, on private land, you will never evict people when it comes to government. But the particular case I'm talking about, this matter has been discussed. The Honorable Karuma Wamala knows it, and the decision made that they will compensate people. So the reason I'm asking, why are they not compensating it and instead demolish their houses?
Compensate people for encroaching on the right of the railway. Yes.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much for the guidance. Encroachers are not bona fide occupants. And this Parliament actually at one time even made pronouncements and said we should not compensate encroachers on government property and government land. On the issue of the report, the requirement to bring a report, yes, I can bring the report of how much money we need to compensate on all the projects ongoing. It will be available.
Thank you. The General is going to bring a report and we will reconcile it.
On the issue of Karuma, Right Honorable Speaker, Karuma.
There is an order.
Madam Speaker, the Minister for Works knows that he has been compensating people in Bukasa who are in the same conditions and circumstances like the one along the railway. Is he in order to mislead Parliament that compensation has not been made to those classes when he has just completed compensating Bukasa? Is he in order?
Honorable Semujo, the minister did not say that government will not compensate. They look at a case by case. And they don't have the similar facts. So the minister is in order to give you information that is available. You are the ones who passed it in this house. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on the issue of Karuma Bridge, I totally appreciate the concerns of Honorable Mapinduzi. And yes, this bridge, first of all, has outlived its usefulness, even in terms of location and approach. That's why we had even reinforced the approach on control of the speed to the approach of the bridge with the humps and bramble strips, but also put some soldiers and including a police traffic control element on one side. It is true that this bridge is going to be redesigned. We're already in the process of redesigning this bridge. We are only challenged with the funds. If we had the funds, we would have started the construction. But we are in discussions with some development partners to see that we redesign and reposition this bridge to meet the challenges of the increasing traffic on that road. It's very unfortunate that this number of accidents have happened, but we are going to increase more reinforcements as of now, so that at least if the truck hits on it, it doesn't topple over. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Tinker.
Madam Speaker, before the Honorable Minister takes leave of the issue of Karuma, they say the trucks worth of a lot of properties are plunging into that river, and the lives, human beings. So far, on average, 25 trucks have gone in. If they have a driver and a turnboy, those are 50 people. The Honorable Minister comfortably sits when he talks about redesigning the road without talking about human beings. I feel
but it is the way the road is designed that is causing accidents. You wanted him to stand.
No.
You want him?
What I am asking the Honorable Minister.
Just hold on. The minister has given you an appropriate answer. That it is something that government, this country is concerned about. We need to redesign. That road has outlived its lifetime. Now, what did you want the minister to do? To stand because lives have been lost? What is saying we need to redesign the road? Bring your issue that has been answered. If you wanted to raise it, you'd have raised it. Bring your issue.
For me, I only talked about human beings. And I wanted the Honorable Minister...
And by the way, it is not animals that drive those
to tell the
vehicles.
Country whether
every
person who will drown in that river will never be recovered.
Okay, now we go the next person. Subi, you bring your issue now, since yours is covered.
Honorable
Thank you so much, Right Honorable, for giving me this opportunity. Right Honorable, my issue is about URA's notice to all businessmen in this country to stop the storage of goods in warehouses and be paying their taxes immediately on arrival at the neighboring ports, mostly Kenya and Tanzania. Right Honorable Speaker, this is very unfair because it is ad hoc. These businessmen were not mobilized. They were not sensitized about this program. They've already paid. They are going to lose a lot of money to the warehouses that they've already paid for their goods. It is a very expensive venture for the business community in this country because you imagine the money you have to put in to deal with Kenya instead of doing it at the Ugandan border. So money will be lost if that continues. Ugandans will be deprived of business opportunities on the Ugandan side because this means that business activities are going to shift to Kenya and Tanzania. How about those businesses that have been operating at the border with the high unemployment rate that we have in this country, Right Honorable Speaker? So my prayer is that this should be halted with immediate effect. Secondly, this is going to cause high rise of prices of those goods that we're importing, and most unfortunately is that wheat is among them, foodstuffs is among them. And we're going to a dry season, Right Honorable Speaker. We had bad rains. So our villages, our people who are the final consumers of these goods are going to face a problem of inflated rates or rise in prices of these goods. Right Honorable Speaker, my prayer is that the Trade Minister should stop this with immediate effect. Thank you so much, Right Honorable.
Government.
Right Honorable Prime Minister, the traders, Right Honorable Speaker, the traders were briefed about that program. They were sensitized about that program. but I think the Minister of Trade will come here and give a statement about that, but they were sensitized about what is going on, so they were aware. Those who were not aware, maybe they were not around, maybe they did not get information, but the Minister of Trade will come here and give a statement.
So what have you responded to her?
Right Honourable Speaker, the Honourable MPs raising the issue of goods being halted at the border.
It is not at the border. Kenya, you take back the goods to be cleared from the other side, and the cost is borne by the trader. What you need to do is to ask the Minister of Trade to come and report, and also give information to those traders on what as the action that what is preempting them to do that.
Right Honourable Speaker, that's what I had said at the beginning, that the traders were sensitized about that program. But in case there are those who did not get the information, Honourable Minister of Trade will come here and give a statement to that effect.
And we don't need a statement per se in this house. The people who need that statement are outside there, the traders. Give the traders information on what you've agreed. Because now everything is being done in anticipation. Yes, so we need that minister in the house.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for this wonderful opportunity once again to represent my people. Right Honourable Speaker, this petition, I'm raising a petition which is already in your office. It is being raised by the people of Ndaiga sub-county against land grabbers who have invaded them. Right Honourable Speaker, the petitioners in this petition are Baruku Samuel, Nyareva Gordon, Katongo Bugembe, Miss Birabo Scovia, Mr. Sanyo William, Mr. Ruvanjirana, Mr. Bagonza, Pastor Ephraim, Pastor Sabiti, and others. For Right Honourable Speaker, the cause that they have is that they have been occupying this land for a long period of time, stemming to 30, 40 years. All of a sudden, some people emerged with land titles, and this matter was brought to the attention of the minister, the president, who agreed in principle to negotiate with for political reasons to cure the problem. But the land title holders could not be patient. They decided to sell these land titles to the powerful and rich people in this country. Right Honourable Speaker, these powerful and rich people, they are wreaking havoc by evicting the people of Ndaiga to a level that in the process of evicting people, we lost a life on 4th of May. One woman was shot in the back as she was running away from the land grabbers. The picture is here, Right Honourable Speaker. Very sad. Right Honourable Speaker.
Lay it on table, lay the petition on table, and I'll refer the petition to the Committee of Fiscal Infrastructure.
Much obliged,
and they will report back to this house, and I will want the committee to go to the locus.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, and I beg to lay on table.
Thank you. Next.
Item
Those remaining ones we will handle at Prime Minister's time.
Item 3, statements by ministers on 3.1, the supply of blood in blood banks. Three, 2.
3.1. Can we hear from government?
Right Honorable Speaker, I'm waiting for the minister who is not here now, but she communicated that she'll be coming in.
Is the minister, do we have only one minister in health? And are the ministers not aware that we start the house at 2?
Right Honorable Speaker, the two ministers, one is sick and one is away. So we have only one minister who was held up in a certain conference, but she's coming.
Yes, Honorable.
Right, Honorable Speaker, we are talking about a serious ministry concerning the lives of people. I am glad that constantly you are on this matter, but you are breaking down because of this ministry. The president needs to know that this ministry, he put there a category of people he's aware that they have health problems. It is from the Prime Minister's mouth.
Honorable member, having a health problem is not by choice. It's not by choice.
You have to be honest to Ugandans.
No, it's not by choice. Anytime you can also have health problems. Last week you were sick, didn't we treat you? No, you first. Honorable Tinker, I want you to withdraw that statement.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Today it is me.
I withdraw the statement that one of the honorable ministers does not have a back problem.
That the ministers in that sector have health problems.
Honorable Speaker, I have evidence that if given time, I would lay it on table. But in absence of time,
Honorable Tinker,
allow me to
Honorable Tinker, unconditionally withdraw it.
Allow me to withdraw the statement that the ministers in the Ministry of Health, they are very healthy, but they have refused to come and answer the questions of Ugandans.
Next item.
Item 3.2, statement by Minister on the attack on Lubiriha Secondary School in Impondwe, Kasese District.
Honorable members, the other day we had that information about the attack of the children, and we asked the minister to come with a comprehensive report. I hope it has been uploaded, a comprehensive report on the attack of those children. And I want to thank the Holy Father for having prayers for those children. There were prayers in the Vatican for the children who were burnt in Kasese. We really want to thank the Holy Father for that. Yes, Honorable Minister. Yes, Shadow.
Right Honorable Speaker, as the House prolonged on 25th of last month, on 26th our forces were attacked by Al-Shabaab and we lost about 50 soldiers. About 50 soldiers, as was reported by the President. Isn't it procedure right Honorable Speaker? But since this minister is here and is the Minister for Defense, he compiled at the same time a comprehensive report to this Honorable House to know the status of the people we lost, how they are going to be compensated, where are the bodies for the decent burial. We are in the dark. The whole country is in the dark to know what is happening. Isn't it procedure right that the minister be directed to produce a comprehensive report about what transpired in Somalia? Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Minister, what Honorable Chiwanuka is raising is pertinent. After the killing of the soldiers in Somalia, we remained in the dark because the House was not sitting. We were only hearing from statements out there. So we will also require a statement on that. And who are the people who were killed, where the bodies brought, what is the way forward. And that still brings you back to the corruption that the President talked about, where people were selected, who is who. You're taking people who are not experienced enough. And Honorable, somebody raised an issue on recruitment. It takes you back to the issue of recruitment. You're recruiting because so-and-so is a relative to so-and-so, and because you feel there's money in Somalia, so you're sending people who have just been recruited. So, Honorable Minister, you will come with that report in 2 weeks' time.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker. The statement on Somalia, with those details, Right Honorable Speaker, I would request you give me 3 weeks because there is also an ongoing investigation. The President detailed an inquiry which is going on. Allow me, I know by that time we would have got that report, Right Honorable Speaker. And most of these answers will be given, as you rightly put it.
Yes, procedure.
Right Honorable Speaker, I rise on a procedural matter related to the same issue, Right Honorable Speaker, and it is basically on the use of the gun, the illegal use of the gun that has become so rampant in the country. Right Honorable Speaker, as we are talking about the Kasese issue, and the minister today is here, Right Honorable Speaker, killings have become killings, Right Honorable Speaker. The other day in Mayuge, they murdered a businessman. Just early morning, they came and shot the business person and they killed him. Every day, there is somebody who is being killed by a gun, an illegal gun that is being misused. And Right Honorable Speaker, when that incident was happening in the place is called Bukatue, the Prime Minister present here was around after the incidents. Right Honorable Speaker, when the community overran the police, the small police post, and they started killing others. This one, they suspect they killed that one. And then killings take place. Therefore, the procedural matter I'm raising, Right Honorable Speaker, would it be procedural right for the minister to come here and tell us also about this misuse of the gun and the killings that are happening rampantly every day? What is the problem? What is not being done? that is right, Right Honorable Speaker, because it is being done continuously and continuously.
And yesterday I talked about the money mobile operators.
Exactly.
They are really killing money mobile operators, and that is how these people earn their living. They go and rob them, they go and... So, Honorable Minister, as you come back, we need to get a statement on what is happening. People are dying. And you know, when you see what is happening when they just shoot somebody, today it is you, tomorrow it is somebody else. We lost that Hajj in Mayuge. Now you're making the locals to take the law in their hands. Because when they suspected it was another person, the locals also beat up that person to death. Do they still keep law and order? The police was there. They wanted to lynch the police also. So, Honorable Minister, we need a statement on that. Yes, Honorable Idi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. In line of the same, what happened in Mayuge, it is really very embarrassing. Because Haji Hamza, a very prominent businessman, was gunned, and he's a neighbor of the police post, just 50 meters away. On the right hand side of his home is the Marine Police. On the left hand side of his home is the police post, just 50 meters away. But someone coming, so many bullets fired onto the same, but no response. So, Right Honorable Speaker, as we talk about Kasese issues, there are even more issues within our homes, within our villages, within our communities that go undetected. Something wrong is actually not being fixed. The Minister of Defense and Internal Affairs should really come up with a very comprehensive report. Otherwise, we are not secured, our people are not secured, and yet the obligation of government is to keep people with their properties in the hands of police, which is the cardinal role. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I beg that the Minister of Defense and Internal Affairs should really come up with a report for us to come here and debate and find out exactly, is the question about money? Is it corruption? Is it welfare? Is it deployment?
Honorable members, we are going to get that report. But I think what we need to do, Minister, different ministries, internal affairs, defense, security, all those ones. Maybe we need to have a stakeholders meeting. You need to meet these juniors. Talk to them, find out what is the problem. You will find some of them have mental health. And they are just there. Some of them have frustration. It could be welfare issues. It is good for you to create time and talk to these people and understand what these people are going through. It is not until you get to understand what they are going through that you'll get to know what the problem is. I wish you could create that time. I remember when General Katumba used to be the IGP or something. You'd get him talking to those juniors and getting their views. It is also good for you to get the views of those people. Generally, you people need to talk to these people.
Right Honorable, we do that, and of recent we have intensified this program. It's really a program.
And since you do that, report to Parliament what problems you found with these people, so that we plan together.
We are going to do that, Right Honorable. And on the second question, that one we are going to organize it with the Minister of Internal Affairs and together we'll present a security report to the Parliament. Kasese is here.
Honorable members, listen to the Kasese report.
They are now out of what I was going to present, and which I'm going to present now. Parliament has found it right that we have a report on Somalia, but also another report on the rampant guns and misuse of guns.
State of security in the country and the rampant usage of guns.
Much of like we are going to do exactly that. The Right Honourable accepted
Honourable
the 3
Charity,
weeks.
you're welcome.
Right Honourable, you have allowed us 4 weeks.
You asked for 3 weeks. I've given you the 3 weeks.
Thank you, Right Honourable. This is the statement by the Minister of Defence and Veteran Affairs to Parliament regarding the attack on Peter Hunter Secondary School, Nyabigando, also known as Lubiriha Mpondwe Secondary School. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members of Parliament, at the sitting of the 3rd Parliament of Uganda held on Tuesday 20th June 2023, Parliament directed the Minister of Defence and Veteran Affairs to issue a statement that was yesterday, 21st, but because of the circumstances that entailed here, I'm presenting it on 22nd June 2023 about these Kasese killings by ADF, and I wish to thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, for according government and my ministry this opportunity to make this statement. Allow me, Right Honourable, to bring to date all the members about what has been happening all through, briefly, so that we are together, we share the same knowledge about these terrorist attacks. On 13th November 1996, ADF, that time, which was 1,200 strong, all armed by President Mobutu of DRC and Bashir of Sudan, attacked Mpondwe and occupied it for 4 days. The plan of Bashir that time was, as he was already supporting LRA in northern Uganda, to be able to flank us from behind by capturing Kasese airstrip for their group's supply of arms and weapons to collapse the NRM government. We mobilized, and in 4 days we killed 400 of them. Therefore, we failed their plan, and they only managed to just occupy Mpondwe in Kasese for the 4 days I've mentioned, as they were blocked by a small force there. But when we mobilized ourselves, they gave up their mission of capturing of Kasese town and airstrip, and resorted to turning to terrorism by killing people and forcing them into internally displaced camps, IDPs. They also disappeared and occupied the mountain areas of Kasese and Kabalole. Right Honourable Speaker and members, between 1996 and 2007, they were in those mountain and rural areas where we were fighting them, and they tried running to Chibale and Bunyaruguru. By 2007, we had defeated them completely. They then resorted to bombing towns and adopt guerrilla attacks or tactics. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the city and town bombings also quickly got controlled, and they all retreated to DRC, where they were allowed by the government of President Kabila. A team of 100 strong tried to enter and disorganize Chogam, but yeah, sorry for that, but out of the 100 that had organized to attack us, 87 were put out of action. That is killing, and only 13 went back. They had come as civilians and put together all assembled bombs locally. By then,
there's a procedure matter. Procedure.
Madam Speaker, I know that the Honorable Sembija is 2 years old in that ministry. He may not know that several statements about Kasese and ADF have been presented to Parliament with a history that is repeating. So the procedure issue I am raising, Madam Speaker, is whether the minister who was instructed to present a statement on the attack in Kasese should lecture this Parliament as if we are in Chankwanzi about the history that has already been by Honorable Chiyonga, by Honorable Mbabazi. All the subsequent ministers of defense have given that information. Whether he should take us back to supply knowledge that we already have, instead of giving us knowledge that we don't have.
Honorable members, it is also a fact. It is also a fact that 85% of the members of this house have just been here for 2 years, who do not have that prior information that you had. Since for you, you've lived and grown up in this house. So let's, for the benefit of the people who have been here for 2 years, can please go on.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker. I will be fast this time. But I wanted to inform the members of Parliament that at that time, that group which wanted to disorganize Chokam had come as civilians, and they combined when they reached here, and were assembling bombs locally within and around Kampala. By then, they had also split up and attempted. What we did is to organize the intelligence, because when they split up and they start moving in small groups of 2 or 1 or 2 people, you have to use intelligence. And this was fought by knowing, following them up, and also arresting them. The ADF is a weak force, Madam Speaker and honorable members. Since the days of President Mobutu, it would have grown into a massive force. It has an anti-people philosophy and it does anti-people actions. During the regime of President Kabila, these ADFs were given liberty to stay in Congo. But since then, 20 years plus, they have remained weak. But 20 years is really a lot of time. It is the current regime of President His Excellency Shikedi which has helped us and accepted to work with us to enter Congo under Operation Suja to attack ADF from their safe haven in DRC. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the joint UPDF and FARDC is the army, is the equivalent of UPDF here. Operation Suja in eastern DRC has been a success. Since its inception in November 2021, over 500 terrorists have been killed, including foreign fighters affiliated to other terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, and the Islamic State Central Africa Province, ISCAP. Over 50 have been captured, about 30 have surrendered on their own, and over 100 former abductees rescued, and various types and calibers of arms and ammunition and IEDs, improvised explosive devices, and ID-making materials have been recovered. So a number of terror cells and collaborator networks, both within Uganda and in DRC, have also been destroyed. Life, I want to inform you, Right Honorable Speaker and the members, that life has also returned to normalcy in the areas of operation of the joint forces. Former abductees have returned to their homes. Schools, places of worship, and businesses have reopened, and abductions of the local people have been curtailed. Infrastructure, especially roads, have been either put in place or rehabilitated, which has eased the own movement of troops and supplies, goods and services for local business communities, and so on. The local communities in DRC are appreciative. Where we are, UPDF and FARDC, people are appreciative of the joint UPDF FARDC forces that have enabled this return to normalcy. I have organized a small map which is there. But you can see just a bit of that. The iPad, it is not there. So we are showing only that part around the Rwenzori, from the Kibale National Park down up to Queen Elizabeth National Park, Lake Edward down, and when you enter Congo, we are showing just from Bulibo through Virunga National Park, then Kasindi, Mpondwe. Where we had this problem is in Mpondwe, which I'm going to talk about. What you will know about Butembo, Butue, Kabasha, and Beni, and those mountains after the Rwenzori National Park. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the ADF is mostly in the northern parts of the road from Kasindi to Beni. You can see Kasindi, you can see Beni on the northwest. Kasindi in the middle, near Mpondwe and Beni. So the northern parts of that road and the south of the road is occupied by UPDF. And where the UPDF is operating from, life has come back to normal with the population settling back, on economic production. For example, they have gone back to growing cocoa, coffee farming, cocoa and coffee. Shops are often open and schools are running. And all the shops, if I have to volunteer some information, are full of Ugandan goods. All these towns from Beni, Bunia, Kasindi, all of these, when you go there. But that is something else. So in DRC, at Honorable Speaker, where Congo allowed us to operate, ADF could not go to camp there. They now remained in small groups. I use the Luganda word bukunkumuka. Like a dry, when you have dry cow dung and you remove it, what remains is they are small. When you remove the rump. So these remaining bukunkumuka, remnants, small scattered remnants that cannot attack barracks and police stations. But why do they attack civilians and schools and killing innocent innocent people? We are very sure that they do this to give themselves publicity, to make the world know that they are still there, but also detract us, UPDF, back from attacking them in Congo, in their main camps. So we have denied them space locally, but we also need to finish them from where they are in their perennial hideouts in Congo. And this country should not remain in this panic forever. What the ADF is doing is not a sign of strength, but of weakness. Otherwise, why don't they attack military and police barracks or ambush army vehicles? As you know, Right Honorable, when you burn a log, even the ash, which we call a vu in Uganda, can go into your eyes and cause pain. The bukunkumuka should be wiped out, or a vu should be well swept, because all these can cause damage. They tried this in Ntoroko, December 13th, 2022, and they were planning to do exactly what they did to this school recently. They were 51, but when they attacked, out of the 51, 26 were put out of action. Yes, we counted them. When you are fighting, you are not blind. We counted them. 26 were put out of action, and the bodies remained there. And the 25 were captured, and we have them in prison. When we capture them, we don't kill them. We put them in prison. This was a bigger and well-armed group that Rubiriha than that one of Rubiriha, the recent Kasese group, which was less than 10 terrorists. We are carrying out investigations, Right Honorable Speaker and the members, to establish and get answers to some pertinent questions, which everyone, including the honorable members, is asking. One, why didn't people, both security and civilians, seize them? Two, why were there no identification or suspicion of new or strange faces? All of these will be answered by the investigations or the investigations that are going on. So the findings will avail these answers. We have already removed the logs, but we now need to remove the earth. Now this instant case, Right Honorable Speaker and members, on 16th June 2023, around 23 hours, that is about 11 p.m., suspected ADF rebels numbering between 5 to 10 attacked Peter Hunter Secondary School in Nyabigando That same school is also known as Lubiriha Mpondwe Secondary School in Kasese district. Following the attack, Right Honorable, 37 students, 1 security guard who challenged them, and 4 other civilians were killed. But as I talk now, since yesterday we lost, that one made it 41, but we have also lost another person who was being under medical care. The first information to the nearby UPDF deployment was received at 23:30, that is after 30 minutes, from civilians to the effect that students were on strike. The people around thought students were on strike and they were burning the school on fire. This information was quickly shared with police deployed at Bwera, and subsequently a joint UPDF and police force on wheels was dispatched to the scene. Routine foot patrols also joined the dispersed joint force to the scene of crime. Unfortunately, honorable members, the attackers had retreated towards River Semoliki inside DRC, that is exactly down below Mpondwe, and eventually towards Virunga National Park. This Virunga National Park is an area that is not inhabited by human beings and therefore has no security deployment. But the UPDF forces pursued the attackers southwards to River Lubiriha because they were expected to cross there, around 3 kilometers from the scene of crime. Despite that, at Honorable and members, the pursuit continued, and on 19th June 2023 at around 14:30 hours, that is 2 p.m. here, 2:30 p.m., towards the confluence of rivers Semuliki and Taliha in DRC, the attackers who had made a hasty defensive position were attacked by a UPDF mobile squad, where 3 enemies were killed, 1 submachine gun captured, 1 woman and 3 children rescued. In the initial planning at the start of Operation Suja, such diversionary acts by the enemy ADF were anticipated and taken care of. That is the reason rare deployments in the entire Rwenzori sub-region were maintained. For instance, when the same ADF group attempted to infiltrate in Toroko in December last year, even bigger numbers as mentioned above, the whole group was annihilated owing to timely information from the civilian population. Unfortunately, in this case of Kasese, Lubiriha, the information was late, inaccurate, and the small group was able to infiltrate with the assistance of some collaborators. That is why some of them have already been arrested to help in investigations. Operation Suja, Right Honorable Speaker and members, was initiated partly to arrest the ADF terrorism from its source in DRC. The bombings in Kampala, for example, in November 2021, were organized from DRC. Had we not deployed in time, the situation would have been worse. In this particular incident, Right Honorable Speaker, this was an isolated one and is highly regrettable. However, it does not and will not deter our resolve and commitment to execute our constitutional mandate of defending the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of Uganda in general, Kasese and the Rwenzori sub-region. In the pursuit for these criminals, Right Honorable and members, continues by the UPDF in DRC, and we are continuing with the very deep investigations in order to understand the nitty-gritty aspects of this incident. And other and our forces and other security forces we are going on with the process of investigating these occurrences. Any elements found to have been an accomplice will be arrested and prosecuted as per laws of the country. We are also doing community sensitization and mobilization for vigilance, collaboration with security forces, and working with the security forces is also, we are doing this, and we are making sure that now the population is more vigilant in this affected area. And the general situation, as I talk today, has returned to normalcy. We appeal for calmness, vigilance, and cooperation from all citizens of goodwill in Rwenzori sub-region and the country at large, and as we continue to deliver on our constitutional mandate of preserving peace and the security for person and property within this country and all round our territorial boundaries. Right, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the country will be kept informed on any other developments regarding this incident and the situation in general. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I thank you, honorable members, for God and my country.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, you've had a statement on what happened in Kasese. It was a very unfortunate incident. And of course, at the end of the day, you can't put a blame on anybody. It happened, and our security forces need to become more vigilant. Yes. Let me start with Kasese. We start with the Kasese people, then we go to the in-laws, to the relatives. Let's not take a lot of time because we are about to go to Prime Minister's time. And how I wish when you're discussing, we should be giving us a way forward. What do we do? Okay?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. To begin with, I want to thank you, Madam Speaker, because immediately I received the news, the tragic news, I contacted you. And I also contacted everybody in the security system, including the President. Madam Speaker, I want to thank you that not only you received my call, but you even opened your home for us to have a meeting and a way forward. And I'm meant to understand that we almost lost you because your pressure went up when you saw innocent citizens, school kids, or future engineers, or doctors, or priests, our judges murdered and brutally terminated their lives in a cold blood. We really want to appreciate you and the support that you gave us and all of the colleagues in the House that sent us their support and strength. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now, Madam Speaker, I really want to thank the Minister for a comprehensive report. Speaker has just guided that we can't blame nobody. Yes, but I think it's critical and it's very important for us to say never again. Never again. Mr. Minister, you indicated in your report that 51 attackers in Interlocal, 26 put out of action, that's murdered, and 25 taken captive by our forces. I wish the same really happened. The way forward, Madam Speaker, number one, specific prayer. We have about 5 people still in hospitals. My own estimation, Madam Speaker, is that where a hospital cannot manage their condition, and it's no wonder that yesterday we lost another life that was being managed in ICU at Ware Hospital. My prayer right now, because this can't wait, that government evacuates the 5 and they are taken to better equipped hospitals, specifically in Barrera Hospital, which is not really very far from Kasese, so that we don't, yes, we can't afford to lose another life. Madam Speaker, it pains me because the woman that died yesterday had lost a husband. So what are we gonna tell these orphan kids? That the only hope that they had was maybe the mother surviving to look after them. But I think we've gone through enough as a community. I'm asking this very government, Ministry of Health or Ministers for Health, Madam Speaker, through your directive, these citizens still fighting for their lives in where a hospital should immediately be evacuated, transferred to Barrera Hospital for further and better management. Number 2, Madam Speaker, my prayer, and that is a way forward, as I conclude, a way forward. The President responded to our request as leaders from Kasese. Yes, $5 million was served to each bereaved family, and we're really thankful to the President and the CDF. But Madam Speaker, we're asking for presence and deployment. The entire Kasese is insecure. The lake communities, the mountainous communities, and urban and village communities. Madam Speaker, we're asking that deployment that relates to the threat should be scaled up, and our capabilities, both soft and hardware capabilities, should be scaled up in that community. And Madam Speaker, very lastly, I'm asking that instead of our sons and daughters going back to their homes, because that is what the parents ask for, that this Parliament directs the Minister for Defense, Internal Affairs, and Security to ensure that the students, specifically the school,
an anthem in that order.